Welcome to the Yokoy Academy and our Xero integration video series. This video will show you how Yokoy's spend management integration for Xero handles cost and master data synchronization. The integration lets you import master data from Xero, including tracking categories as cost objects, accounts as expense categories, Xero contacts as users, tax rates, and you can export reviewed expenses from Yokoy. It's an API-based integration that exchanges data bidirectionally. Tracking categories and accounts are imported into Yokoy and synchronized daily. A unique identifier is used to determine whether or not the corresponding object already exists in Yokoy. If found, the integration updates the existing object with changes in the data. In the case of accounts, tracking categories and tax rates, if the integration does not find the corresponding object in Yokoy, it creates a new category, cost object, or tax rate in Yokoy. Users and company cards are also synchronized on a daily basis, but must first be manually created within Yokoy. Now let's take a closer look at some of the data being synchronized. In Yokoy, cost objects are a hierarchical construct that shows where costs occur within a company's operations. Xero uses tracking categories rather than department codes or cost center to monitor the performance of different business areas. Once you have renamed a tracking category in Xero, navigate to Admin, Cost Objects in Yokoy. After the daily sync, the existing cost objects will be updated with the data change. Rather than using the code ERP field, the integration uses an internal Xero ID, which is not visible, to synchronize cost objects. Therefore, the ERP code field is populated with NA. Set up approvers manually if your company follows a cost object approval strategy. In Yokoy, categories provide a classification for the different types of costs that users can have, and they are mapped to a Xero account on a one-to-one basis. In other words, you can only create one expense category for each expense account. This enables the expense to be booked properly in Xero, and input tax can also be associated. Once you have created a new account in Xero and defined a unique code, navigate to Admin, Categories, Expenses. After the daily sync, the new expense category will appear as active. The account ERP code field will be filled with the unique code of the Xero account. If needed, you can also assign a symbol and define other settings for the category in Yokoy. Assign the category to a policy if your company uses these in Yokoy, so that employees can select it for cost classification when submitting expenses. Users must manually be created in Yokoy before they can be synchronized with Xero contacts. The email address is used as the unique identifier for synchronization. Therefore, it is essential that the email address is identical in both systems. After the initial setup is done, any changes made to the Xero contact's first name, last name, status, and contact ID are updated by the daily synchronization job. Once you have created a new contact in Xero with all the relevant information, navigate to HR, User Management to create a new Yokoy user. Make sure that the email address is identical to the one in the Xero contact to ensure a successful sync. Now you know how Yokoy's integration for Xero handles cost and master data synchronization. Thanks for watching and have fun exploring Yokoy.